Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Arrange Your Own. We're glad to have you back, and just in time to see these wonderful flowers we have this week. We have some really interesting things and lots of color. We have purple dendro, lilygrass, aspidistra, these fun fatsia that look kind of like a handprint, bells of Ireland, one stem of kale, statice, and peach roses. So we're going to start. I chose 3 rectangular and square vases. I thought it'd be a nice cohesive look throughout. And we'll start with our largest vase. For this, we'll take a stem of aspidistra and cut off the stem, just like this. And then we can place it kind of in a sweeping motion inside the vase, just for a little curve. And it'll also cover up some of the stems in case the water gets dirty. And then to start, we're going to use these wonderful bells of Ireland, and they smell wonderful. Plus, if you look inside each little floret, there's a pink and white flower inside, and they're so cute. So luckily we have some pretty long ones this week, so you can cut them into 2 pieces if you want, or if you want to put them in a smaller arrangement, you can do it into 3. Just gonna cut in 2. And then we'll place one of them back here. We're just gonna cut each of them this way. It gives more volume with the same amount of flowers. And just cut right at the node, right before the next set of leaves start, or flowers in this case. And we'll cut this one as well. I'm just kind of doing different heights a little bit. We'll cut the last one. You don't have to cut them all the same length either. This one has 2 groups, these have 3. And we'll just place this in here. And then we have the fun curved ones. You can just take off a few of the florets at the base. And we'll do these off to one side. Maybe placing the taller ones in the back and the shorter in the front. You may want to be careful. Sometimes they have little spikes on them. They're not really painful, but just a little surprising. And then we have this really wonderful fatsia. And since it curves in different directions, mine's curving this way, so I'm going to follow the shape of these bells and place this right behind them just to kind of highlight the direction they're going. And this is the perfect instance. There's a nice area to add something large right here. So we can add our stem of kale. And we'll just put it right in the front. And then we also have a few stems of lilygrass. I'm going to save one for our bud vase, but we can use the rest in this arrangement. And I'm just going to curve them by running my fingers along it. And then I'm going to make loops that are going to go throughout the arrangement just by tying a little bit of binding wire around each stem in a loop structure. It's kind of a fun, interesting arrangement to work with. You can do a couple together too. Maybe I'll do a group of 3. And then a smaller loop than before. And just tie them together. And then we'll place this one going this way to contrast the fatsia. Then you have kind of a fun, interesting and whimsical all green arrangement, which is really fresh and springy. Then we'll move on to this one. This is more like an entryway or a foyer kind of vase. And we'll start with our aspidistra leaf, and we're gonna align the vase again, just by wrapping it this time though in a little circle, this, and placing it within the vase. And for this, I'm gonna use the fascia first. Kind of place one in here. And then another going in the same direction. Like that. Then we'll take our statice and break it into little laterals and bring them all up to the same height, each lateral. You can cut the stems later so they don't have to be all the same height. And this is just going to be a really great base for our roses. Then we'll cut this down to the size we want. No need to tie, but we'll just set it off going in one direction. Then you can cut each rose and place them sporadically throughout the statice as a fun little pop. When they open, they'll really fill in throughout the statice. You can group a few of them together too. And then our last rose. Then we have our nice medium-sized arrangement. Now we'll move on to our final small one. And for this, I saved the dendro and one stem of lilygrass. The dendro I have is really long, so I'm gonna cut it into two pieces. Just right where the blooms start to get smaller, I'm cutting right above one of the blooms. And then with the top of the stem, I'm going to take off the bottom buds and then align the buds with the top of this other stem. Then we'll take our stem of lilygrass and loop it in a simple loop right on side our dendro. And then you can just take a little bit of fine wire and twist it around so that it stays in place. Then cut it to the right size and place it in your nice bud vase. And I hope you guys enjoy this week's arrangements, and we can't wait to see you next week. Thank you.